I'm really glad you're finally getting into voice acting. I think it's about damn time.
We'll see.
Yeah.
The thing is, I feel like I lack like actual class skill training, so I think a lot of the time they're probably going to err with that over like, oh, this guy does funny voice. Maybe it'd be nice to do.
Got cast in 4 animes and a cartoon. Just
that's because he tilted his launcher. All right.
Dude, dank reference, man. I can't believe you threw that one at me. Oh my god. Okay, let me ask you.
Any opportunity to throw a Power Rangers grenade into a conversation?
Well, you have, and it's blown up. Okay, so best and worst Power Rangers team iterations.
I don't think
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Mighty
Morphin Power Rangers.
Just the best and the worst.
Pretty good.
A tie between Time Force and Lightspeed Rescue. I love Lightspeed Rescue, but Time Force was straight up like first episode they killed the Red Ranger, and then
Spoilers for a 20-year-old show. Man.
Although worst team, Operation Overdrive. Operation Overdrive can eat me.
Operation Overdrive is just like not good.
Yeah.
So it's like, I think I love Lightspeed Rescue, the show. I mean, that was like my 8-year-old soap opera.
I also like that they were like public servants and that they never talked about how they tapped into the morphing grid with like 2000s technology.
See, the thing is that the problem is that like that team is like basically 1.5 members. Most of that team is a giant empty void of charisma, with the exception of like obviously Carter and then a little Green Ranger as a tree.
Okay, do you have like a favorite other Ranger, like a 6th Ranger?
Can I choose Super Sentai?
Sure.
Then it's gonna be Barai from
Barai?
Z-Ranger. Barai was just Green Ranger in Z-Ranger.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
He was the very first one and he rocks.
Man,
actually, I watched Die Ranger, and that's where the White Ranger outfit comes from.
Yeah.
And he was interesting but very annoying.
You know the problem I had with is that they brought White Ranger in from Die Ranger, but then they never brought the other ones, and I actually always thought the Die Ranger costumes were cool.
I think the plan was originally to swap them because it would have been way easier on the footage.
Yeah. And
they were like, we're probably going to lose our audience if we do this, and to an extent they sort of read that correctly, so they actually asked Toei to shoot new footage in the old costumes. I'm waiting.
I've been waiting since noon.
For 5 hours.
What was it?
Oh, I was waiting for a doctor to call me back. It was one of those telephone.
Oh yeah? Do you have like super face herpes?
No.
Like after the untimely and tragic passing of Chadwick Boseman, right?
Yeah.
Because he had prostate cancer and he was really young.
Yeah.
I got
like
really nervous.
Yeah,
I got really nervous, and I went to the doctor at my local clinic, and I'm like, "Can I get a colonoscopy?" Yeah. And he looked at me. He's like, "You don't need a colonoscopy." I'm like, what if there's bad stuff in my butt?" And he's like, "How old?"
There's bad stuff, but it won't hurt you. It reminds me of a story by Day 9, Sean Plott. He does a great story on his page called "The Time I Almost Died." I won't spoil it because it is a cross between difficult deadlines in his school life, meeting a mounting health concern, but he tells it like a comedy. It's gut busting. Like, I won't spoil it. Absolutely watch it.
Oh, okay. Wait, what was it called?
The Time I Almost Died.
The Time I Almost Died. Okay. All right.
Very evocative title, I know.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I will check it out just for you, babe.
Yeah. I always resented the idea that Batman is like the most relatable Justice League member.
Yeah. How is he relatable? He's crazy.
He's the ethical billionaire who is the real life equivalent of rolling 18s for every stat in D&D.
Yeah.
Like he's so ridiculous. Like Clark is more relatable.
Yeah. Like that time Hugo Strange just mentally destroyed Bruce Wayne until there was nothing left except the Batman persona, and then they chucked Bruce Wayne into an alley and he lost his memory of being rich. So he just like found a bunch of rags and like stitched together a weird purple bat suit with like a club, and he just went around beating up criminals with a club.
Oh, dude.
That was a great story. I was like, Batman's just a crazy homeless guy now. He doesn't even have gadgets anymore.
But he'll still beat people up.
He still has justice.
Yep.
I always say the most relatable out of all the Justice Leaguers is probably Kyle Rayner for me.
Kyle Rayner, yeah.
Because the thing is, like Jon Stewart, all the other ones, they were military. You know, they're kind of like soldiers. Kyle Rayner
Yeah.
was just an artist that was broke all the time and lived in a crappy bachelor pad and then had to like
Go
go
outside one time and found an alien.
and then even then he's still broke. He like goes to Justice League, fights crime, and then goes home to sleep in his crappy bachelor pad.
Yeah.
You know.
If Kyle was to be a character now, he'd make a killing with imagination ring free
Oh, geez.
content.
During the start of some comic, he was at a cafe and he was like, $5 for a coffee, and this like hipster goth guy's like, this isn't coffee, this is latte, bred by the Colombian gods themselves.
Oh, geez.
And then he gets like a call from his Justice League, and he's like, all right, well, you know what? They have coffee at JL headquarters. Dude can't even afford a cup of coffee, and then he has to go fight crime. But yeah, super excited for Zack Snyder's Justice League. I can't wait. Like, I'll check it out and let you guys know, because his movies are often long and tedious.
They are.
But like, usually if he's left to his own devices, there's a payoff. There's a payoff. He sets up all these pieces so that they can combine in the end.
The true payoff is that this cast is successful enough, they decide, you know what, we'll give you one more kick at the can, and finally a JSA movie gets made. It disappoints me.
You know, there's literally an animated R-rated JSA coming out in like a month, right?
Yeah, I remember hearing about this.
Yeah.
But I think, even if we can't get a JSA film, I would really love to see, like, Thunder. Because we got Shazam, and I think that kind of camp quality.
Who really is gonna draw people to the box office from Justice Society? Alan Scott? Friggin' Jay Garrick? Who's gonna break a hip while he's running slower than Barry Allen?
I could see Alan Scott, if he was to start with his own film, actually being a pretty compelling character.
They're never gonna give Alan Scott his own film, you know.
I would make it so that it's like a highly stylized 1920s sort of film. He's a railway worker who's, Alan's gay.
Right.
So that is a character dynamic that can be explored in that time period in a way that I think can be very artfully done.
Yeah.
Don't smash people over the head with it, but it's like, hey, this is a part of the character. That's an interesting thing. And then have the cool green fire effects for all his stuff. For some reason, it doesn't work on wood because lol, alien magic.
Yeah, I don't know. Who else would be in a live-action Justice Society movie? Wildcat, probably?
Yeah.
Whose power is just punching, I guess. He's not even he's not even a martial artist. He's just a boxer.
Batman's a rich guy with a bat fetish. I mean, that's something
Also a ninja.
You get that reductive.
He's also a ninja.
He is
the
a
writers
ninja.
were like, crap, we have to make him be able to beat all these dudes up. Let's just post back breaking. Let's also make him a ninja.
Yeah.
So he's a ninja billionaire.
Yeah.
That'll be relatable, right?
Yeah.
Give me Hourman, a guy addicted to pills that only let him be super strong for an hour. Sandman would be a sick movie. If you made him, it's like a slasher movie, but Sandman's the killer.
Well, I think they're making Sandman a TV series, an HBO series.
I can see that.
Which
Yeah,
I'm
TV
actually
series
really
would be
happy to see that with the success of The Boys, and Joker, that studios are like, wait a second, adults also like superhero movies, but they also like them darker and grittier and more violent. Boys, rated R.
Yeah.
Invincible, rated R. Suicide Squad, R. Zack Snyder's Justice League, R.
Is it gonna be like Sandman Mystery Theater, like the old comic?
No, Sandman by Neil Gaiman.
Oh, I'm talking Sandman, the guy in the gas mask with
Oh,
a sleep
what?
gun.
Oh,
I'm talking about
okay.
Justice Society.
Oh, Jesus Christ, dude. Yeah, I liked how he was like, I just kicked this door down and then it incapacitated these 3 innocent women. But it's okay because I'm looking for justice.
Yeah. It's like Gaiman Sandman obviously deserves a series.
Just-
That's a given.
Yeah.
Yeah, just a guy in a glass mask chloroforming random people.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
As I say, like Sandman, gas mask wearing guy who puts criminals to sleep is the slasher movie villain. All the main characters are actually just like crooks who are trying to avoid Sandman.
Oh my God. Apparently, they're doing a Damage Control cartoon series.
Damage Control?
Yeah, so Damage Control in the Marvel Universe is the company that picks up off all the messes after the superhero fights. Yeah, they're the ones with the cranes that have to come and clean up all the rubble. Just about like construction workers that have to like clean up the mess. And then look up and Iron Man's flying past and he's like, an asshole. Friggin', did you have to unibrim the bridge? You couldn't just punch him? Like,
Well, that's the Spider-Man.
the proton
Yeah,
cannon.
That's with the vulture.
yeah. They have to go and like scrape all the webbing off of a Spider-Man fight. And he just webbed like the entire block.
I thought Spider-Man's webbing melts after like an hour or so.
No, after like 3-4.
3 or 4?
Yeah.
I just like imagining like an on-call firefighter. Like I've had a couple family friends who were in that.
Yeah.
And just they're in bed and it's like 3 a.m. They get a call going, I'm gonna have this. Yeah, they did what?
Yeah.
They did what? The hell's a juggernaut? Have the ultimate long con for this damage control thing.
Right.
These guys are like, as the less and less villains become a problem, they're like, guys, we're gonna go out of work. They become, or just some of them are, they hire the wrecking crew.
The wrecking crew. Yeah.
It's like,
But now they're the building
harder
crew?
than to break shit, so that way we keep getting work.
Looking for anything in particular?
I'm gonna take you to pick my list.
Yeah, for sure. Last name, please. Yeah. We got. Oh, that's a good cover. Oh, nice, Radiant Black.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I checked that one out. It's actually pretty good. It feels a lot like Power Rangers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The,
Yeah, full circle. We were talking about Power Rangers just 10 minutes ago.
Have you been watching that WandaVision?
I have. I didn't care for the first 2 episodes. Well, no, I wouldn't say that. The first 2 episodes were only okay to me.
Yeah.
But since then, yeah, it's been getting really good. Yeah.
It's funny because Sophie loved the first 2 episodes.
Yeah?
Like she doesn't know, follow any kind of comic book stuff,
okay.
but she loved it.
I get what they were going for. I just don't think it was my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But when they started, because I feel like it's supposed to be, it's supposed to harken back, it's supposed to be about nostalgia.
Yeah.
And those things are just way before my time that they weren't
That's
nostalgic.
probably it. Yeah.
Whereas in like the later ones, once I started hitting like 70s, 80s, 90s, that stuff I appreciated. I was genuinely blown away
Yeah.
that Quicksilver was recast as Pete Evans.
Yes.
Which is funny because in the movie Kick-Ass,
Yeah.
Aaron Taylor Johnson, who played Quicksilver in Age of Ultron, is Kick-Ass, and Evan Peters is his best friend.
Yep.
And then they both go off to play
on
Quicksilver.
the Halloween episode, she said kick-ass, right?
Yeah.
And
WandaVision's all right. I'm excited to see where they're going. I actually do like the way they seem to be trying to introduce mutants, especially because with the way they're doing it, I like that also explains if other popular, like Ty Sheridan, right? He got cast as Cyclops. Maybe they'll bring him in as Cyclops. Maybe we'll bring in like the newly cast like Nightcrawler and stuff like that, but then replace like say Michael Fassbender or not. I just want Deadpool 3 to open with like Deadpool just like randomly on a couch, and then a portal opens, and then he just steps through it.
Yeah.
And he ends up like in an alley, and he walks out of the alley, and you realize that he's like out on the streets of New York.
Yeah.
And then he looks in the skyline, and it's just Avengers Tower, and he's like, I did it! I'm in the good cinematic universe! I'm much more excited for the Loki series, because that actually looks like it's based off of something,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give me a Beta Ray Bill series or give
Oh
me
my
death.
god, right? Give me an animated Daniel Warren Johnson Beta Ray Bill series.
Please.
Yeah.
Hard
I-
cut tape.
Just honestly, give me animated Daniel Warren Johnson anything. I can just picture like the animation style and the fight sequences.
Man. Oh yeah, looking at your D&D stuff?
I just happened to get the ads on it. My girlfriend got me something called Old School Essentials for late birthday and Valentine's Day present.
Okay.
So I want to put together something that is sort of a hodgepodge of classic adventures as sort of like a Ursat's campaign setting. So if I was to ever run a game for a group of, larger group of people, it can be like, hey, here's this older, simpler version of D&D. All the stuff would essentially be pre-prepped. So that way I would never have to worry about not having enough prep.
Right.
Whereas like modern D&D is much more narrative heavy.
Yeah.
So there's a lot more like either planning the narrative really heavy in advance, which means you sort of force players onto rails, which I've never been a big fan of, or you're playing like speed chess, where you're forced to account for a narrow range of variables with as much detail as possible, which was my 5e game that I finished last year, essentially. That was, extremely rewarding. Best game I ever ran. But every week having to provide a suitable challenge for the characters within the bounds of the game while also allowing for the narrative to continue in a satisfying way and affording the players agency to discover those things at their own pace and not just force-feeding it to them was incredibly stressful.
Honestly, that's the reason I could never DM. It's like, it was just so complicated for
I
me.
think it's funny, the 5th edition, people talk about it as like a good entry-level product. I think it's a good game. I don't know if I would say it's a great game. I think every RPG has weak spots.
Yeah.
But man, Dungeon Mastering 5th edition is much harder than it looks.
Yeah.
Like you watch Matt Mercer in Critical Role, who is just amazing at his job,
Yeah.
absolutely incredible as both a performer and someone who runs games, and you go, oh, this seems like pretty plausible, pretty easy.
Yeah.
And then you have all this stuff laid out in advance. You got like a good introductory module you found online. You go in with your players, and one of them does or says something that throws everything completely out the window, as they always do. And you're like, so now they're burning down the inn. Where do I go from here?
God, people have been getting into chess.
Yeah,
Like
no
a lot. I actually love chess. I used to play at tournaments when I was a kid, and while I'm not anything close to a chess master, I'm decent at the game. I would say.
At chess.
I would say I'm decent. So all of a sudden now, my friends that have never been interested in chess, they all go see the Queen's Gambit, and they're like, "Let's play chess."
They're going for all these openings they
Yeah,
found. But
yeah,
they
and
don't know how to follow up.
Yeah, and I'm just like, what? Like you're giving me full control of the field to like do your flourishes right now.
I don't think it's fair to say I get bored of chess.
Yeah.
I think fundamentally, it is a very satisfying game. But I have zero patience, and I don't know how to finish that sentence. And my signature thing is being way too aggressive with bishops. That's just like, I love bishops and want to use them at every chance I get.
Oh, you're a bishop bitch?
Yeah.
I'm a horsey kind of guy.
I'm a horsey guy. Every guy has those two pieces where they're like, no, this is my thing. Like my brother is like that with rooks. He's like, I'm gonna use rooks for everything.
Yeah,
like, bro,
yeah,
you're
yeah,
not
yeah.
a queen.
Yeah. Dude, cavalry's dope.
Cavalry is dope. That's another fresh sentence.
Yeah. although I tell you what, I do enjoy myself a good bishop.
Another fresh sentence. My God,
Yeah.
we're just on fire today.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
do enjoy myself a good bishop.
Times are weird, man. GameStop's going up again.
We'll go for the. We'll resurrect Blockbuster from a single location back into a thriving stock empire.
Yeah, you know what? Let's bring back Pepsi Blue.
Oh my God.
Can I just say I loved
When I was,
Pepsi Blue.
Yeah, when I was younger, KFC and Pepsi Blue was like my thing.
Yeah.
I loved those two things.
I loved Pepsi Blue. Where did it go? Did people not like it?